Okay. All right, we're gonna get started, and I'm sensing we're gonna get started in hero pose. So go ahead and find your seat on your heels if that feels good. If you want to just a regular easy pose, go ahead, sit like that. Maybe you use a block between your calves if that feels good. And let's just start to land here. Just start to breathe as you sit and sit tall. I'm feeling like we should do a little bit of our alternate nasal breath to begin our class. So we're going to start with the pranayama mudra on our dominant hand. So tuck down the first two fingers, the index finger and the middle finger. And then we're going to go ahead. And I know that ring finger kind of just like, I don't know what to do, but just let it be. So we'll close off the right nostril with our thumb if we're using our right hand. And then we'll close off the left nostril with our ring finger. So you can go ahead and let your eyes soften if that feels good. And let's close off the right nostril. And we're going to start by breathing in through the left. So when you're ready, begin breathing in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Close off left. Exhale right. 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay here. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Close off right. Exhale left. 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay here. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Close off left. Exhale right. 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay here. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Close off right. Exhale left. 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay here. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Close off left. Exhale right. 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay here. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Close off right. Exhale left. 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay here. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Close off left. Exhale right. 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay here. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Close off right. Exhale left. 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay here. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Close off left. Exhale right. 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay here. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Close off right. Exhale left. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hand relaxes, breath relaxes, and returns to normal. So just feel yourself starting to soften down into this space as we did that alternate nasal breath to kind of balance out the right and left hemispheres of our brain, to really let ourselves just ground in and anchor into this space. So as you follow the rhythm of your breath without controlling the breath for now, just start to feel your body land on the earth. As you begin to notice and become aware of the support that's beneath you now. And as you're breathing in, just imagine that you're breathing in, and as you're exhaling out, imagine that you're nurturing and saturating the roots that are spreading far beneath you now. So taking a few more breaths just like that. Maybe gradually your breath just begins to lengthen or deepen just a little bit as you breathe in through the nose, feeling the belly expand with that ocean whisper sounding breath, and then exhaling, releasing, relaxing, and letting go. So with this new moon, it's an ideal time to set our intentions of what we're co-creating with life happening through us as the moon begins to move into the fullness. And I wanted to share this beautiful story from the Book of Awakening. And this was for yesterday, but it's still pertinent for today. It's called The Monkey and the River. It is said a great Zen teacher asked an Inuit to sit by the stream until he heard all the water had to teach. After days of bending his mind around the scene, a small monkey happened by and in one seeming bound of joy splashed about the stream. The Inuit wept and returned to his teacher, who scolded him lovingly. The monkey heard, you just listened. With the best intentions, we often build false careers of studying the river without ever getting wet. In this way, we can ponder a great philosophy without ever telling the truth, or analyze our pain without ever feeling it, or study holy places without ever making where we lived sacred. In this way, we can build a cathedral on the water's edge, spending our time keeping it clean, or we can count our money or say our prayers without ever spending anything or feeling God's presence. In this way, we can play music or make love skillfully without ever feeling the music or our passion. And the apprentice in the story was brought to tears because the monkey, slapping and yapping in its way in the river, had landed in a moment of joy. And the apprentice knew that all of his reverence and devotion and meditation didn't bring him the joy of the monkey. The river is, of course, is the ongoing moment of our living. It is the current that calls us to inhabit our lives. And no matter how close we come, no matter how much we get from staying close with a sensitive heart, nothing will open us up to the joy but entering the stream. So that's our invitation today, is to enter the stream of life happening through us. And as we take these next few breaths together, perhaps you begin to breathe in your intentions with this new moon, or even for just today, and maybe after class you set some time aside to devote to setting your intentions for the new moon. And as you continue to breathe in your heart's intention for this evening, maybe you take a moment to just seal that into your heart center and the intentions for this new moon, just by tucking your chin to your chest and gently rocking your chin shoulder to shoulder, making that smiley face on your heart, sealing in the joy of life happening through you. And the optional mantra for today is, I am a being of violent fire. I am the presence that God desires. So as you lift your head back up over your shoulders, over your heart, just bring your hands off to the side, and then slowly inhale, rise up with the arms. And then as you exhale, let the right hand soften down to the earth as you start to expand the side body. And then let that inhale draw you back to the top. Exhale, let the left hand soften down as you reach over. So now take the inhale one more time each side, and then we'll add on. Always listening to your body and what you need. Inhale, come up. Exhale, over. And now inhale, rise. We're going to slowly revolve to that right side. Let the hands soften down. So just breathe here as you sit tall, as you lift, as you twist. Breathing in, I am a being of violent fire, or violet fire, not violent, violet fire. I am the presence God desires. And now inhale, rise, come back to the top, exhale to the other side, hands soften down. As that beautiful breeze just stokes that violet fire. And now we're going to add on. So let's inhale, come back center, revolve back to the right side, and we're going to let that rear hand plant down. Maybe you stay here, or maybe you lift the hips as you lift the hand. As you start to maybe gaze up to the sky, and then exhale, let the hips soften down, let the hands soften down, and then inhale, come back to the top, revolve the other way. Let that rear hand plant in again, lift the hips, lift the hand if you'd like. And exhale, soften down. And now find your pace, find your rhythm. Inhale, just start with that twisting camel pose. Letting your breath be your guide. We'll do that maybe another time or two. Making sure we get both sides. And then just finishing up whenever you're done. And then just come back to the top. Maybe let's do that one more time. Everybody's there. Let's do it one more time. Just feel all those intentions expanding through the front body. And then we'll all come back forward as we breathe in. And now let's exhale, paint the canvas down in front of us as we fold down, finding our child's pose. So maybe you wish to move the block out from under you if you would like, or keep it there. So now as you breathe in, feel the back of the heart expand to the spacious sky above you as it receives your intention for this new moon or for class this evening. Feel the back body expanding into all of that. Just breathing in, I am a being of violet fire. I am the presence God desired. And today we're going to do a little bit more of a flow. So as you inhale, come up into your table position with the hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips, and then slowly lengthen out the right hand, left foot, sending the fingertips forward, heel back in space, keeping the gaze down at the earth. And then exhale, melt back down, sink back to child's pose. And then on your next inhale, come back to your table position and then move side. So left hand, right foot. And then exhale, soften, fold down. So if it feels better for you to just hold your balancing table, you can do that too, or you can flow with us. Really feel yourself sending the energy out the heel as you press the heel back. Feel that straight line of energy from the heel to the fingertips. Let that violet fire just emanate from the core all the way out. Out beyond your fingertips, out beyond your heel. And maybe do that one more time each side. And then when you're finished, we'll all meet back in our child's pose and just pause there for a moment in child's pose. Whenever you're finished, just meet in child's pose. And then we'll take our time coming back to our table position, hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. And then let's send the right toes back in space. So we're gonna press through those right toes and lift up that left knee. So hands are right under the shoulders so that you're protecting the shoulders and the wrists. Feel the core engaging as the navel reaches to the spine. So now set the knee down, slowly soften that right knee down, and let's switch sides. We're gonna add on, but first we're gonna go here first. So send the left toes back, press the toes into the earth, and then hover the right knee above the earth. Breathe in your power and your strength, stoking that inner fire, stoking the intentions. Exhale, soften the knee, soften the left knee back down. So let's go back, press the right toes back once again, and now lift up the left knee again. So from here, you have the option of staying here or pressing up to three-legged dog. So as you're in three-legged dog, just keep a nice soft bend in the right knee. And then you get to play a little bit here. As you exhale, come back into like that tiger curl with the knee hovering above the earth, or the knee can come all the way up by the elbow. And then exhale, three-legged dog. So feel free to just stay in the hover and modify with what you need to do. So maybe one more time. And then hovering that left knee above the earth, soften that knee down, and then let that right knee find the earth. Now let's switch sides. So now send the left toes back once again. Hover that right knee above the earth. You can stay here in this plank pose. This is a great place to stay. Or maybe you start to add the flow of exhale, sink back to three-legged dog. Inhale, shift forward, hover the knee or draw the knee behind the elbow. So do that about 3 times, maybe 4. And we'll give those shoulders a break after all this work. Just building up that inner heat. Whenever you finish your last round, so that you're balancing even, soften down the left knee, soften down the right knee, and let's find the earth with our elbows. So bring your forearms down and now send the toes back one at a time. So now we're in our full plank if that feels good for you. Our full plank or kneeling plank. Really sense that navel reaching to the spine. Now soften the knees down, release the feet back in space, soften the hips down, and just start to gaze forward. Spread the fingers wide. Find your mini cobra pose. And you can stay looking forward or gently look back as you exhale, looking back over one shoulder. Allow that inhale to bring you forward. Exhale, look over the other shoulder. So maybe one more time. Just releasing any holding that may be there. And then we'll find our way back down to the center. Slowly open the elbows and bring your forehead to the earth. Tuck your chin down to your chest. And now just feel the full support of the earth beneath you, supporting your head, your heart, your hips, your legs. Just feel that full support. And now let's slowly lift our head up and draw that left forearm in front of us. So we're going to bring that left forearm so it's parallel with that short edge of our mat. And then we're going to bend that right knee and maybe reach our hand back for the foot. If we can hold the foot, great, or maybe it's an energetic reach. So creating that circle behind you of the wholeness that you are. I invite you to breathe through the top of the quad, through the top of the thigh, keeping the knee inside of the body. If it feels better, you can rest your forehead down on that forearm for just another breath or two. Allowing that heel to drop towards the glute. And then let's bring some energy into this if it feels good. So begin to press through the front forearm as you press that right foot into the right hand. Just opening up. Feeling the shoulder beginning to expand. And then exhale, soften, let the foot go. Just find the earth and whatever feels good now. And then we're going to switch sides. So slowly begin to draw the head up, bring that right forearm in front. So you can rest your forehead on that forearm. And then just take the left hand reaching back for that left foot. And just hold it there as you let the heel drop towards the glute again, just releasing the top of the quad. Just feel the full support of the earth beneath you here. And just see if you can soften even just a little bit. A little bit more softness, a little bit more ease. So if you wish to, you can slowly come up into your half bow pose, pressing into that front forearm as you push the foot into the hand, hand into the foot. And continue to send the breath through, opening, expanding that intention. And now exhale, soften the foot, release the foot, bring both hands forward and rest your head on the forearms. As the head rests down, just slowly bend the knees again and just windshield wiper the legs side to side. Just releasing anything else you're holding on to here. Just wash it away. And then begin to find the stillness with the feet. Start to send them back in space. Slowly draw the hands under the shoulders. You have the option to press right back to child's pose or do an optional push up to plank. So lift the hips, press the toes in and press up into plank. And then you can move into downward dog. So maybe you start to march, pedal out those legs here in your downward dog. Maybe you start to shake out that head and neck. Just notice where you might be holding so you can direct your breath into those spaces, those tight, sticky spaces. I'm going to invite you to play here. So maybe you want to do a little twisty dog as you turn the toes one way and bend the knees. Maybe you want to do a little three-legged dog. However you wish to play in your downward dog, I want to invite you to find some joy. So however you're playing, if you haven't gotten to the other side, get to the other side. Taking another moment or two here. Then making your way back to the center when it feels right. start to bend your knees. And now you get to play again. Figure out how you want to get to the top of your mat. Hop, jump, walk. Find your gentle forward fold as you let your feet land in. Let your arms hang heavy as your head softens down. Really find the softness through your knees so your belly can be supported. Just notice that support that is always there. And today we're going to find our nice slow roll up. So whatever you're holding on to, let that go and just slowly draw your hands to your thighs and slowly roll your body up. Let the head stack last. Finding your full tall mountain stance, just gently turning the palms forward, and maybe you just do a little gentle lean forward and back, rocking your feet forward and back as you root in here. Feel the earth beneath your feet. And then let's take our inhale, look high, and let's do our upward hand salute. Draw the pinkies together as you gently lean back. Breathe in. And now exhale, melt the hands down to the heart. Breathe here. And then we're going to slowly inhale, draw the hands behind the back, maybe wrap the hands on the elbows or interlock the fingers. Charge those knuckles down, lift the heart to the sky as you breathe in your heart's intention, your intentions for this new moon as we connect with the lunar energy in the sky above us. With a nice open heart, let yourself receive. So maybe you wish to stay here, or maybe you wish to find a forward fold. So let the hands soften to the tailbone, bend at the knees, hinge from the hips, lead with the heart. Let your head fold down, and then reach your arms up overhead. So here we are in our bound position. We're going to move into our bound chair. So slowly sink the hips back, lift the head when you're ready, holding into that bound position. Breathe here. And you don't have to stay bound if that's not for you. And then maybe release those hands and reach them forward. And then maybe take your time, and we're just going to step open to one side. So maybe you draw your hands to your heart and then just step that left or right foot open to the side, staying squatted down, and then inhale, step back together. Then step open again, open to the other side, and then inhale back together. So let's do that one more time. We're just playing a little bit here. And then coming back, feeling the power in those legs. And let's take our inhale back up to the top. Exhale, hands melt down. So one more time, doing that upward hand salute. Inhale, pinkies draw together, gentle, lean back, mini back bend. And then exhale, melt the hands down to the heart center. One more time, binding. So drawing our hands behind us, feeling that weird interlock. So now it should feel slightly awkward. Slowly draw the knuckles down or draw the elbows, hands on the elbows, that's good too. And then let the gaze drift up to the sky. I think the new moon peaks around like 10:28 or 58. I can't remember, one of those times. So just invite in your heart's intention as you breathe in. I am a being of violet fire. I am the presence God desires. So either stay here or humble yourself, softening the hands, bending at the knees, hinging at the hips, lowering the heart down as the head folds down. Maybe let those arms reach overhead if that feels good. One more time, moving into our bound chair pose. Slowly soften the knees, sink the hips back, keep the knees behind the toes, maybe staying bound or not, you choose. Gaze looks down slightly in front of you. Keep those knees aligned over the ankles. And then maybe release the hands if you're ready. Reach the hands forward, maybe sink a little further back. Breathe in the strength and the power that you are. We're gonna play again. So now draw the hands back to the heart. We're gonna step open just to the side and then close. Stepping open and then close. One more time, open, close. Last time, open, close. When you're back to the center, inhale, rise. Find that mountain stance. One more time. And then we're gonna go ahead, inhale, swan dive, forward fold. Exhale, bend at the knees, hinge at the hips, lower the hands to the earth. So then we're gonna take our right foot and we're gonna step the right foot back. So take the big step back, wiggle those toes back there. You can use your blocks here if that feels good. And now we're just gonna flow between our low lunge and our pyramid pose. So as you exhale, lengthen out the front leg, let the head fold down. Begin to feel the inner thighs squeezing towards one another. So just start that flow. Inhale draws you forward, low lunge. Exhale sinks your hips back. Maybe another time or two. And then we're gonna walk our hands forward. So come back into your low lunge. Oh wait, before we do that, let's come up. So maybe come up, come to your fingertips. Maybe you come up to the sky with the hands if that feels good. And then maybe you bring your hands behind your head and just pause here. Feel the strength and power here. Feel the active energy through the rear leg. And now let's exhale, melt the hands back down. We're gonna walk our hands or blocks forward and we're gonna shift into our needle pose. So slowly lift up that left foot or right foot to the sky. Just finding that needle pose in whatever variation works for you today. Maybe you move around that foot and ankle if that feels good. And I'm always giving options. So no, you can stay where you need to stay. So we're gonna do a little more balance here work in our needle pose. So we'll keep the right hand on the earth. And maybe if you wish to bend that right knee as you reach the left hand back for the foot. Kind of do it a little different. So we've got two limbs balancing. So now if you're holding the foot, just let the foot go. Find your needle pose again. Just find that needle one more time. Come down if you need. And then we're gonna move into our warrior three. So keeping the hands there on the earth, slowly start to turn the toes down to the earth to find your warrior three. So you can keep your hands there on the earth or bring your arms out to the letter T or reach your arms forward in space. Definitely challenging our balance today. Remember, no judgment, just acceptance. Especially those of us that are outside. So now slowly exhale, lower that foot down. Let's take that inhale high. We're gonna find that forward fold just so we can release through that outer hip. So let's find our forward fold and we're gonna cross that same right leg over the right or over the left leg. So cross it in front of the left leg. If you have blocks, draw the blocks under your shoulders and then rock your hips forward and back. So let the right hip or left hip draw forward and then back. And when it feels good, just begin to still the movement. Keep a nice soft knees and slowly inhale, staying crossed with those legs. If you can, inhaling up. I know it's challenging. And then when you're ready, soften the right hand down, reach over, breathe through that outer hip. Then inhale, rise. Let the left hand soften down. And inhale, come back to the center, hands melt down and uncross the leg. So now we're gonna go through that other side. So when you're ready, maybe you stay here for a moment. And then let's take our swan dive, forward fold, inhale, hinge at the hips, lead with the heart, fold down. Bring your blocks back underneath your shoulders. And then we're gonna step that left foot back. So stepping that left foot back into your low lunge. So again, we're gonna flow a little bit here. So as you exhale, lengthen your front leg out into pyramid pose, fold the head down. So just begin to tick-tock forward and back, playing between your low lunge and your pyramid. Maybe another time or two, flowing forward and back. When it feels right for you, just start to find your way back to your low lunge. We'll come to our fingertips. Maybe you stay there, maybe you draw your hands high, whatever feels right for you. Maybe the hands stay there, just fold down behind the head, just keeping those elbows nice and open. Breathe. When it feels right, exhale, let your hands soften down back to the earth, melting down. And now we'll walk our hands or blocks forward, pressing up into our needle pose. So slowly lift the left heel high to the sky. You can point the toe, flex the foot, whatever feels good. Just doing that standing kind of splits pose. So remember, you can stay in needle pose. You can come out of needle pose at any point. If you wish to join me for the extra balance challenge, we're gonna keep the left hand here on the earth under our shoulder and then reach the right hand back for the left toes as the knee bends. So if you're holding that foot, release the foot, find your needle pose one more time. And then we're gonna slowly move into warrior three. So slowly begin to turn the toes down to the earth, drawing those inner thighs towards one another. Maybe you reach your arms out to the letter T, reach them out in front of you, maybe even behind your back, whatever feels right for you. Find your warrior three. Feel the strength and power as I am a being of violet fire. I am the presence God desires. When it feels right, slowly inhale, rise up, plant the foot down, and then we'll take that time to just cross that left foot over the right. You might need to pause there. And then let's take our inhale. We're gonna first find our forward fold. So slowly hinge at the hips, fold down, grabbing the blocks if you want them, and then just gently rock your hip. Rock that right hip forward and back. Breathe through that outer right thigh. Last time rocking forward and back. And then still your movement, keep a nice soft bend in the knees. Take your time and slowly inhale, roll up. I know we're staying crossed if you can. And then inhale those arms up. And then we'll let the left hand soften down. Feel the outer hip open, expanding into your intentions. And then inhale, rise, let the other hand soften down. Now inhale, rise, slowly uncross the feet, coming back to the center. We'll take that inhale. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold, hinge at the hips, soften at the knees, fold down. We're gonna go back to that right foot, stepping back. Step that right foot back. Now invite both hands to come to the inside edge of that left foot. And then we're gonna heel toe that left foot open into our lizard pose. So keep the hands there underneath the shoulders. And let's do a little bit of our dynamic lizard. We're playing today. So we're gonna start to circle those hips around. Just make a nice lateral circle with those hips. Might be a small circle, whatever works for you. And then still the hips and begin the circle the other way. So when it feels right, soften the hips, still the hips, and start to soften that rear knee down. Let that right knee find the earth. So maybe you wish to stay a little more upright in your lizard pose, or you wish to come down. So you come down to your forearms if you'd like. Just bring in that left foot to the outer edge of the knee mat so you have a little more space. So maybe you let that left knee fall open as you rock to the outer edge of the foot. Maybe you even bring the left hand to the thigh if that feels good. So find what feels good for you here. Just invite yourself to just play and experiment a little. And know that you always have the option. If you need to come out of lizard, you can always just sink your hips back, lengthen out the front leg, take a moment there, and then come back into your lizard. Sometimes we need to pause, and that's okay. So we're just going to be here for a couple more breaths. So whatever that looks like for you, take your time. We're just inviting in more space through our hips. That way our intentions can move through every fiber and cell of our being. So when you're ready, beginning to find your way back to the center, planting in that left foot, and then come back up onto your hands if that feels good, and then sink those hips back. You can walk your hands back and maybe flex the front foot, turn those toes to the sky, and then maybe just turn the toes out to the side. So slowly turn the toes back to the sky, slowly shift your weight back forward. We're gonna heel toe that left foot back into alignment with the hip. And then let's actually walk it in front of that right hip. So now the foot's in front of the right hip. So you're kind of on a balancing beam. And then sink your hips back one more time. Maybe you flex the foot again. You have the option to maybe turn the toes out again. And then begin to turn the toes back to the sky, slowly shift the weight back forward, heel toe that left foot back into alignment with the hip. And then we'll separate the blocks and we're gonna flex through that right foot, lift the knee, and then take your big step forward. Let's just hang here and pause here between the two sides as we're here in our forward fold. Maybe rocking our baby as we wrap our hands on our elbows, or maybe you wrap your forearms behind your calves, whatever feels good. Let go of anything you're holding on to. Just feel it dripping out through the crown of your head. The earth can hold it all, so just let it drop into the earth. So now begin to still your movement. Lower the hands down, and now we're going to step the left foot back. So take a big step back with the left foot, wiggle those toes back there, and then walk both hands to the inside edge of that right foot, and then heel toe that right foot to the outer edge of the mat. Adjust your hands or blocks. And now let's do our dynamic lizard. Let's play a little bit, circle those hips in those lateral circles. And then still the hips and reverse the circle. Go the other way. That even requires us to think about it because I forgot which way it went. And now begin to still the hips again. Begin to soften the rear knee down as you let the rear foot relax back in space. So now you get to choose. Do you want to stay here upright, or maybe you wish to come on down to the forearms? Once again, you could peel that knee open if that feels good, just peeling the inner edge of the foot off the earth. Just play and follow what your body needs here. We even have our moon stars magic here. So we'll just be here for a few more breaths, just like we were on the other side, just letting go of all the holding through our hips. Us women carry a lot of stuff through our hips. We need to let it go. And I highly recommend drinking lots of water after class, as always, but drink lots of water. So just finishing up, and when you feel ready, you can slowly come back to your hands, really root in that right foot, and then we're going to sink our hips back, lengthen out the front leg, maybe flex the front foot, drawing the toes to the sky. If you wish, turn the toes out to the side. Then begin to turn the toes back up to the sky. Slowly plant the foot in, shift the weight forward. We're going to heel toe that right foot back into alignment with the hip, and then we'll walk it over in front of the left hip. So now you're on a balancing beam. And then once again, sink your hips back, walk your hands back, maybe flex the front foot. If you'd like, turn the toes out to the side again. Now turn the toes high, slowly shift the weight forward, heel toe the foot back into alignment. And this time we'll set the blocks to the side and we'll step back to downward dog or child's pose. Just feel that final extension here in down dog. Plug the shoulders in and back, plug the navel into the spine, lift the low ribs into to tuck them in. And then lift the tailbone high as the heels soften down. When it's ready, when you're ready, start to soften the knees to the earth. Find your final child's pose. And we're gonna just walk our palms together over, like in front of us, and then bend at the elbow so we have that prayer position with our hands over our head. So bend the elbow so now the thumbs begin to reach for that cervical spine. Sealing the intentions into the back of our heart mind, the back of our mind, so that they are with us all around us. And then when you're ready, you can lengthen those arms back forward. Slowly inhale, rising up. So we can find our final pose, our favorite pose, our nice pose here on our back. So when you're ready, just find your seated position. And we're just we've done enough work. If you want to go to boat, get a little more work, go ahead. But we're gonna just roll down. You get to choose. Rolling on down. And then once you're in your nice corpse pose, just lengthen those arms, really send the arms overhead and just point, flex the feet, release the wrists, release the ankles from the balance work tonight. And then just start to draw the knees into the chest. We're gonna roll to each side. So slowly draw the knees into the chest, expand the arms out to the letter T, and then exhale, let the knees drift to one side. You get to choose. Whatever side your knees are on, maybe you let your gaze soften to the other side. Feel free to move with this too. And when you're ready, return the gaze to the sky. Inhale, engage the core, draw the knees to the other side. Maybe let the gaze fall away from the knees. Starting to just feel the back really being supported as those shoulders anchor you here. And on your next inhale, let the gaze come up, knees come up, engaging the core. And then find whatever you need, knee circles, happy baby. Find that last back body release to invite your body to soften. And if you would like to, we're gonna just draw the knees in as we draw the head to the knees, returning to the seeds that we all started from, the seeds in our mother's wombs, with the seeds that we planted for our intentions today. Just start to feel your seed expand as you open your body and find your comfortable resting position. Perhaps a little reclined goddess to remember the goddesses that you all are, that butterfly pose, or whatever feels good. Now it's our time to rest. We rest here in Shavasana, feeling the full support of the earth beneath us. As you begin to feel your breath send ripples of peace and ease to every fiber and every cell. Start to feel the ripples of peace and ease starting to travel up the front body as well. Perhaps you can imagine yourself in the center of that lake that we spoke of at the beginning of class. And maybe you can even imagine that there's some rain as you're playing in this lake that's just beginning to come over and wash over you too. As the water's entering the water, as our lives are entering into living, just feel that sense of joy as you feel the ripples of joy move through you. And some things to ponder on for this week. As you move through your days, I invite you to notice your interactions with others and the life around you. Notice if you are watching what is happening or if you are part of it. And if you notice that you're watching, perhaps you would like to just invite your heart and place your heart into the stream of what is before you. The way you might dip your hand into running water. And do this by opening your heart with your out breath and letting life in with your in breath. Let yourself just watch and be. Open and let it in. Listen and get wet and play. Beginning to slowly come back to the space as you invite in a nice deep breath, letting life in, breathing it all in. And as you exhale, maybe an open mouth exhale or a sigh of relief as you let it all out. And just slowly taking your time to come back, maybe rock your forehead or your head side to side. Maybe you start to move your wrists, your ankles. Gradually bringing yourself back. And then maybe when it feels right, just start to soften the knees, bringing the feet to the earth or bringing the knees to the chest. And whichever side is calling for you to roll over to, just start to roll to one side. Just let your heart and your side body be held for just a moment. Perhaps breathing in gratitude for this earth beneath you. And then let your top hand press into the earth as you gently find your way up to seated, taking your time, letting your head stack flat. Finding a nice easy cross position in whatever way that looks for you. And then we'll sit tall and let our hands just soften outside of the hips, soften the eyes down as we come back to our heart's intentions for either this class or for the new moon. As we breathe in, I am a being of violet fire. I am the presence God desires. Slowly flip the palms as we surround ourselves in that aura of that violet light. As that violet light moves down through our mind, let your hands soften down through your words and down into your heart. Plant that violet fire into your heart. And now connect your mind with your heart in that presence, in that light. As we seal in our intentions to take with us or perhaps reflect upon later tonight. Lifting your head, gently opening your eyes. And namaste. Thank you all. Good to be with you guys. Thank you guys for joining online.